In this video, we're going to be going over the best podcast setup that I personally have found and we use for our own studios, and specifically the gear that we use to tie in all the cameras to the switcher and the audio, and a full breakdown of how you can use it for your own video podcast. I'm ManagerJon, and we have been building studios for the past 2 years, specifically for podcasters that are very similar to you in your position. In this video, we're going to go over exactly how we do it. So make sure you stay around to the end so that you're not missing anything in the process of setting up your own video podcast. In this video, we're going to be going over the digital audio workflow for how you're going to set up your Rode as well as your ATEM Mini Pro ISO, and how to make sure that everything's working, as well as troubleshooting everything so you know exactly what to do. So first things first, you're going to come to the top right here. You're going to see that there's going to be a red button that you're going to press at the top right here. You just press that once, and then what you'll see is the Rode start to turn on. Now, if your Blackmagic's off, you're going to plug it in both on the top right. So both on switches are, one's a button, and then your Blackmagic, you're going to plug it in the back, and then you're going to screw it tight here, and you're going to see all the colors turn on for each of the two interfaces. So starting off with our first part of the workflow is you're going to start off by looking at your microphones, which are here, and they are going to be fed in by an XLR that is going to come down, around, and into the back of either channel 1, channel 2, channel 3, or channel 4. These are your 4 channels here. Now, once you turn this on, you should be able to start seeing signals. If you go to talk into the microphones, like so, check, check. Okay, we're not getting any signals. So first thing we have to do is we have to lift the faders here so that we can start getting a good signal. And now, if we do a little test to our microphones, you can see that right here, you're starting to get a feed. Now, the first part is you want to plug in your headphones directly into the back. You'll see 1, 2, 3, 4. Those are the 4 channels that you're going to use. You're going to plug in your headphones directly into there. And then you're going to make the adjustments to the channel that it's designated to here, channel 1 or channel 2, so you can hear them through your headphones. Now, once you do that, you should be able to get an audio signal if you have your faders up, and then you have your headphone settings, which are on the top right, and they're turned up. If you want to hear more of them, you can just turn the dial to the right. Next, what you're going to see is you're going to have a stereo 1/4-inch adapters splitter come all the way over here and then feed directly into mic 1. Now, this is important for you to know for setting up. Once you got your Rodecaster all set up here, you're going to come over, you're going to make sure that this is on. And your checklist for your ATEM Mini Pro ISO is, first, you want to make sure that it's on. Second, you want to go into USB out, which is in the back here, and you want to plug our SSD directly into USB out, which you'll start to see the record disc turn on green. Before that wasn't there. Next, you want to make sure that all the HDMIs are plugged in. HDMI out goes into our TV or confidence monitor that's right over here, and that'll allow us to be able to see what we're doing on the screens and what is actually showing on the camera. So HDMI out goes into our TV. We want to make sure that our TV or our confidence monitor is on. Next, you want to make sure that all the HDMIs are plugged into the cameras directly into either HDMI 1 or HDMI 2 that you can see here as well. Make sure that those are fully plugged in and good to go, because then you'll start seeing the image on our confidence monitor. From our Rodecaster, we are going to take the splitter cord. The splitter cord is going to come all the way down into mic 1. This is mic 1. This is mic 2. For this purpose and this workflow, we're only using mic 1. So when you start everything up, you're going to see that it's off. You're going to make sure that you want to hit that on. And now our ATEM Mini Pro ISO is going to be able to read our audio. Once we do that, you want to leave all these buttons on the center, leave them to off, leave mic 2 off, because we're not really going to need it for this specific scenario. Based off of how many cameras we have, right now we have 2 cameras. We're switching back and forth between camera 1 and camera 2. So once we have our mic 1 on, what you're going to see is when we have our confidence monitor on here, you see that on the far bottom right about here, you should see a green bar that's bumping up and down. What you want to do is you want to make sure that when you're looking at your ATEM Mini Pro ISO, that those bars that are bumping up and down, you want to make sure that they're not hitting the red. You want to make sure that everything is in the green. Otherwise, you're going to mess up your audio and it's going to come out distorted. In order to change that, if it is red on the screen in that bottom corner that I just pointed to, you're going to want to press the down arrow, and that is going to adjust your volume level. For these purposes, we have the SM7Bs, which are really good microphones. We should only have to adjust it just a little bit to make sure that it's green. And then we are fully ready to go and to begin recording. For this, what you're going to do is you are going to, where it says rec, you make sure that your SSD is plugged in here into the USB out, and then you can hit record and it will turn red. Now, if the record isn't green or if it's yellow, that means that it's not reading this. So you might have to check and see if a cord is fully plugged in or not. But that is the basic setup for your Rodecaster Blackmagic combination. Now, something that we didn't go over in this video is every time you get a new Blackmagic, you have to start it up and plug a USB-C out into your computer and download the Blackmagic software so that you can update this, because when it fully comes out of the package, it needs an update to begin with. You're going to do the update, and then you want to make sure that you're actually recording the ISO files. And this is already done for you in this video if you're watching this, but if it hasn't been done and you're opening this up for the first time, you're going to go into the setup mode. You're going to click audio. You're going to make sure that it's reading from mic 1, which it should be. And then lastly, you're going to make sure that on the camera section that you click where it says record all cameras ISO, because then you're going to get each individual camera as well as the program file from you switching back and forth. I hope this helped you, because that is everything that you need to know about this current setup. If things are too loud here and things start to spike up into the red, you can always bring them down on the faders. And if it's too loud, rather than lowering the faders, if it's too loud in your headphones, make the headphone adjustment. And then in mic 1, if it's hitting the red, you want to make sure that you adjust the volume there. Otherwise, everything is good and set up here. If you're testing things first, make sure that you test all the cables and make sure that they're plugged in accordingly, like in the beginning of this video. For our stereo, you're going to make sure that it's on the monitor section, left and right. Plug those in fully, make sure that they're all the way plugged in, and then you're going to come over to mic 1, make sure that's all the way plugged in before you start testing around and moving a bunch of different things. I hope this video helped you, and we are going to be doing a full breakdown of this studio in the video below here. So make sure that if you're troubleshooting, you go through these essential steps, or if you go to unplug anything, you know exactly how to plug it back in. There's a lot of pros to having this type of specific setup. However, you need to be able to get the hours in and get your hands on the gear so that you can get familiar with all the settings. And when you're ready to fire up your podcast, that it's EQ'd and everything that you need it to be, and that you can troubleshoot it. Normally when you get kickstarted, it's a little difficult, but if you choose to follow this video and the step-by-step process, you can have your own video podcast that's comprehensive, and you can continue to add more to it. See, the biggest problem that I find is that people want to go the cheapest route and the most simplistic. Simplicity happens when you're able to put in the hours to be able to understand the workflow that works for you. This might be a great workflow, but this might not work for you. It might be a little too complicated, and that's okay. This video was designed to be able to give you a solution that you can continue to use further on in your own content journey. If you found this video helpful, we actually do a more deep dive and a simplistic type of setup for the Zoom H6 to the Blackmagic that you can click here and check out for a little bit more cost-effective way to kickstart your video podcast. So you can check that out for your own very specific workflow. And we also do full-on breakdowns of the studio builds that we're doing. So make sure you check out the gear list and check out some of our tiny studio builds that we do for your room. I'm ManagerJon, and make sure you hit that subscribe button if you found value in this, or leave a comment to let me know if there's some things that I'm missing. I'm not perfect, and I really do appreciate the type of feedback that I'm able to get from you guys, the audience, because that's why I'm making these videos. So I would love to hear from you. See you on the next video. Peace.